Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing today? Before we get started, if you haven't signed up for our newsletter yet, please do so. All the information to get a hold of me and Trish is always in the description box below, along with all the information we always want you guys to have, okay? So, grab your coffee, maybe some chocolate, because you just never know with me or what's going on in this world. No kidding. So, the first thing that I want to touch on is some things that some subscribers, ooh, really already, have sent me, okay? So the first one says this. I live on the east coast of Florida. Today I went to Sam's in Vero Beach and I was shocked at what I saw. I noticed shortages, but not like today. The meat section was empty. I attached a picture. Sam's is smart. They fill in the gaps with other items so people will not notice how bad they are really getting. Among meat being gone, there was no toilet paper, paper towels, paper plates, frozen macaroni and cheese by Stouffer's, as well as no Chinese fried rice, which I love to take to work because I just throw it in the microwave. There was no cold cuts, butter or apple juice, and many others. Friends and family, we need to continue to stockpile and not stop. God bless us all. So I'm going to put that picture in right now for you, okay? And then this one is from another subscriber, okay? He says, my mother-in-law and I watch your videos. I saw that you posted a store with empty shelves a little while ago. Attached is a local Dollar General located in the Finger Lakes region here in New York. This store has been like this for a while. However, today I noticed it was much worse. These are just some of the aisles that have no products on them. This store was a thriving store when it opened in 2014. And since the middle of 2020, it has progressively gotten worse. I sent two of my friends these photos today. One is a gentleman I work with who said, "What's the emergency?" I know, because I thought the same thing. And, but not what's the emergency. I thought, what is this guy, crazy? What do you mean, what's the emergency? What? The emergency is look at the bare shelves. What? Anyway, I'll go on. And the other friend said, wow, I have to get to the store and restock my pantry. Right on, friend. Right on. What? How could one guy say, what's the emergency? Look at the emergency. The emergency is right there in the pictures in front of your eyes, man. Anyway, so he says, the second friend is much more prepared than the other friend. Gee. I think the other friend, he needs a wake-up call, man. But, you know, see, this is one thing that, you know, I've said I don't know how many times. For those friends and family members who are just like this guy, who say, what's the emergency? They're going to be the ones that are going to be knocking on our doors. And that's when you have to make that decision. There's going to be a lot of us saying, I told you so. And you're either going to let them in or you're not. And that's a call that only you can make. You can sit there and show them hardcore evidence in black and white and say, look, this is what's really going on. And you have one guy that says, what's the big deal? What's the emergency? Then you have another friend that says, oh my gosh, I really have to get to the store and stock up for my pantry. Yeah. You know, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy decision to make when you have to not open that door, you know, because I told you so. Anyway. So the second friend is much more prepared than the other friend, but their responses continue to show lack of attention to the obvious problems going on. We live in a small community, but it seems that the small mom and pop shops tend to do better now that the chain stores like Dollar General. Well, right, because it seems like when the chain stores like Dollar General, when they get run, overrun, and they get, what do you want to call, like out of stock type thing, not a lot of people think to go to the mom and pop 5 and dimes, which in my opinion, that's where people should go first, because they're the ones that I feel we should always go to first, Yeah, their prices might be a little bit higher. Who cares? I would want them to survive more than Walmart, dollar store. You know what I mean? So anyway, he sent me a good amount of pictures, so I will put those in for you right now, okay? Okay, now with this was sent to me by a subscriber. And when she sent me this, I was like, whoa. I mean, when she said this is a bit concerning, I said, yeah, it is. She said, I'm messaging you because I saw something at my local Sam's Club that's a bit concerning. It appears that there are wooden possible blockades to Sam's Club. Has anyone seen this in their area? Please let me know. I'm asking because am I making something out of nothing? I have no idea. I attached the pictures. So I'm going to put those pictures in. And when I looked at them, I tried to expand them and blow them up as much as I possibly could. And it looks like they're trying to make it so people have to stand in a line, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to put those pictures in for you right now, okay? Okay, so now there's a few things that I want to talk about, okay, but I don't want, I really don't like my videos to go too long, right on? So there's this one video, listen to me. This one article that I want to talk about, and I was just like, how can this possibly be? But let's discuss this, okay? So there's this whistleblower, right on, and he says the LA port worker says that shortages are fake. All right, well, how can they be fake when we're seeing it, man? I don't know. So if you've been paying attention to the press, which none of us really watch MSM, a lot of you guys come here or to other content creators to get the truth, right? Or your own store shelves, okay, the last few months. You've probably noticed the growing worry about supply chains and goods shortages. And leaders have been blaming it all on lockdowns. They're going to blame what they want to blame. But we're seeing between the lines, right? Okay. So, but the economy in most places reopened months ago, yet the shortages only seem to be getting worse. Well, yeah, we're seeing it. But it's not just the shortages. They're putting limits on things again. Why would you put limits on things if the shortages aren't real? Explain that one to me, jackass. You know what I mean? So you probably first saw it earlier this year with the lumber. Well, yeah, the lumber prices have skyrocketed. To build a house right now, it costs triple the amount that it did 2 years ago. And there's still a waiting list to build a house right now anyway. Like I had said, what was it, last year, that Sean and I wanted to sell our house that we're currently living in because we wanted to go build a house at our bug out location. But guess what? We can't do that because there's a 3-year waiting list to build a house. And I'm not going to go rent because rent around here is insane. Rent around here, okay, let me just put it to you this way. Rent around here, you can't rent for anything less than like $2,000, $2,500. And why would I do that to myself when my mortgage is only $820 a month, and that includes my property taxes and my homeowner's insurance? So why would I do that to myself? But I'll go on. So the lumber increases raised the cost of putting up a new home by an average of $30,000. Well, a hell of a lot more than that. Prices have gone down since they peaked in May, but the National Association of Home Builders just warned the White House occupant. I like how they put I love how they put that data right on, that prices will probably surge again this fall and then again in the spring. But forget lumber. Now there are shortages in everything. The Atlantic magazine literally calls it the everything shortage. And we're seeing that. There's shortages in everything. It's not just toilet paper anymore. Nay. So, in an article out last week, there aren't enough new cars because they don't have enough computer chips for them. So that's why you're seeing the value of your used car skyrocket. Okay? So, and there aren't enough chips because there's a shortage of semiconductors. And you can't repair your old car because there's a months-long backlog for spare parts. And that's true. That's true. My mechanic, okay, from Consumer Car Care, okay, if you're in the Tampa Bay area, by the way, and you need some, car repair or even car parts, get a hold of him. His website and all of his information is always in the description box below. So get a hold of him, okay? He'll help you out. He's awesome sauce. I've been friends with him for 15 years, okay? So, and you can use my code ABG and you'll get discounts and stuff like that. And if you need a tow, call him. Okay, call him. Don't worry about it. Just call him. So anyway, no country exports more food than America, yet people are finding food shortages in your own supermarkets. Well, yeah, and a lot of people are saying, no, we're fully stocked in this area. Well, like I've said before, someone who lives in, say, small town Maine is not going to see food shortages like I'm seeing here in Tampa. More people, more shortages. Okay? So it's just the way that it is. Okay? Not everybody's going to see the same thing at the same time. You're not. So, and even when you have enough stuff, you don't have enough containers to ship it. And a cargo container big enough to hold 35,000 books used to cost $2,500 for a shipment. Okay. Now it costs $25,000 to ship it. Inflation. So suddenly all those ads that you see for AJ, okay, you know what I'm talking about, right? AJ. Alex Jones. I know a lot of people don't like him, but whatever. So for doomsday prepper kits, don't seem like such a bad idea now, does it? No, it doesn't. So, but then again, if it was such a bad idea, y'all wouldn't be here on my channel now, would you? But I'm not a doomsday prepper. No, I'm rational, logical. I just tell you how to stock up your pantry in a dime, you know. And I bring it to you from a mom's point of view, you know, that type of thing. Or at least I try to. But then again, I have mom brain like 95% of the time. But then you would too if you were a Marine mom. Oh boy. So, and you know, and this article that I'm reading was obviously written by someone who's not a prepper. So, because the next sentence I'm like, and maybe those preppers will be laughing at us this winter while they feast on their 80-gallon barrels of dry beans. Listen here. We don't have 80-gallon barrels of dry beans, you schmuck. But we have a hell of a lot more than dry beans. Yeah, she's so very loose. So anyway, this crisis is global, by the way. In the UK, the government is warning that there could be gas shortages this winter. Well, yeah, we know that. We said this how long ago? We said this is what's going to be happening. Why? Because we saw it coming, you know? And in China, there's so much demand for shipping containers to the U.S. that the ships are returning from America early without loading up with U.S. goods. So what it is that America still exports to China is not showing up there. And now our leaders are taking this whole snarl of supply crisis and making it even worse with insane, unneeded mandates. And truck drivers, longshoremen, pilots, mechanics, ship crew, thousands of them are retiring early or walking off the job. The Minnesota Trucking Association thinks that right now the U.S. has a shortage of 60,000 truck drivers. Let that sink in. That's a lot of truck drivers that literally just said, yeah, no, not doing it. Sorry. So all those goods that would have been transported to all those stores, so is this the product of random chance, incompetence, or could it be malice? So I guess, so the next line, the next sentence I should say, he says, our next guest says he has some insight on that question. He works at the Port of Los Angeles, which is the absolute nerve center for the supply crisis. There are dozens, hundreds of ships piling up outside its port, apparently unable to be processed and unloaded in a timely manner. Our guest quite reasonably fears for his job. So much so that he's asked to keep his identity and his company a secret. But he says that these shortages are no incident. He says that there's been plenty of goods showing up at his port, but someone high up in the chain seems determined to keep things running slowly. The LA port whistleblower wrote to the Stu Peters show with tremendous concern and felt an urgency to make sure his message is heard, and he joined the show to discuss. Well, okay. Well, and the video is right here, but you know me, I can't. So the link will be in the description box below if you guys want to listen to it, because I can't play it on here. I'll get copyrighted. Not doing it. So, all right, guys, I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always,